After an oil spill, responders take quick actions to decrease impacts to the environment. This ranges from containing the oil spread using barriers to breaking up the oil into small droplets using dispersants, or in some cases, burning the oil off the water's surface. But when the oil sticks around long enough, nature's cleanup crew arrives, namely bacteria that consume oil, like Alcanivorax Borkumensis. While oil leaks can be devastating to most marine organisms, Alcanivorax thrives in these settings. Communities of microorganisms working together can break down the many components of crude oil into carbon dioxide and water. When Alcanivorax Borkumensis consumes alkanes, the bacteria form a biofilm around the oil, but it wasn't clear exactly how this played a role in the oil's degradation. To find out, biophysicists set out to observe this process in extreme detail. First, they cultured colonies of bacteria, then let them grow and multiply for different spans of time in a vial containing a proxy for oil, hexadecane, and artificial seawater. They then harvested these cultures from the test tubes and mixed them with fresh hexadecane. The droplets were then trapped in a chamber where the researchers could observe the biofilm formation through a microscope. The bacteria sampled from the one-day-old culture formed a thick biofilm over the droplet, mostly maintaining a spherical shape as it consumed the oil. But the 5-day-old culture did something drastically different. It formed a thin biofilm around the oil, transforming the droplet into branching dendritic tubes. So how does the same species of bacteria degrade oil in such different ways? For one, the dendritic biofilm sticks to the oil better. Previous studies have shown that Alcanivorax gets more hydrophobic over time, which means the bacteria is less attracted to water and sinks more deeply into oil. The bacteria also secrete molecules called biosurfactants directly into the membrane of the oil, which softens the boundary between the oil and water. Experimentally, the researchers found that the oil partially eaten by the dendritic biofilm had lower interfacial tension than the oil from the spherical biofilm. Secreting more biosurfactants could contribute to that decrease, which helps the dendritic biofilm transform the shape of the oil droplet. Next, the researchers delved into exactly how these tubes form. The cells making up the spherical biofilm can't deform the drop, which means that when the bacteria bump into each other, some cells are pushed outward. In contrast, when dendritic-forming bacteria converge towards points on the surface of the oil, the pressure from the bacteria dividing causes the surface to buckle and a defect to form. Eventually, the bacteria pull and stretch these defects into tubes filled with oil. By understanding how these defects form, the researchers were able to control where the defects developed by changing the shape of the drop. Despite their different shapes, the dendritic and spherical biofilms actually had similar total numbers of bacteria, and each individual bacterium in both biofilms consumed oil at about the same rate, 1 cell volume per hour. Yet the dendritic biofilm was able to break apart the oil much faster. Forming tubes of oil increased the surface area of the oil in contact with the biofilm, allowing more bacteria to eat at the same time. There's still a lot left to learn about how Alcanivorax and other oil-eating bacteria function out in the open ocean, as well as how they might work alongside other traditional oil cleanup strategies. One approach, chemical dispersants, break up and coat the petroleum into smaller droplets that sink into the ocean. Although this helps prevent oil from making it to shore, it can potentially harm marine organisms in the water column. In the lab, the researchers found that this chemical caused the biofilm to slip off the oil and return to its spherical shape. But this could unfold differently under real-life conditions. It's unlikely there will be a silver bullet for cleaning up all oil spills, but in the future, we may see stockpiles of bacteria on the ready to gobble up spills and leaks.